I chose to do this assignment on a story I saw on the news this past Monday, April 18th. The news story was about Johnny Depp and his wife Amber Heard smuggling dogs into Australia. Apparently, Miss Heard had been going to visit Mr. Depp, her husband, while he was in the country working on a movie. However, when arriving in Australia, she apparently did not ensure that all of the paperwork needed was done, including the paperwork that would declare that she had her two dogs with her. Australia has very strict laws regarding the plants and animals arriving into the country due to the fragile, separated ecosystem of the continent. After looking over a few articles, some places like the Washington Post, People magazine, and the Good Morning America website, it looks like the biggest issue is not that Mr. Depp had knowingly smuggled his dogs into Australia, but more an issue of his wife who neglected to ensure that the paperwork to enter the country was completely filled out and instead left the fine details to one of her staff members. That staff member was replaced for the improper handling of that paperwork. It seems to me that they chose to focus on Mr. Depp because he is the bigger celebrity. I even found it odd that they felt the need to mention in the press release by the Australian government that he was chosen as the sexiest man alive 2 times. I have no idea what that even has to do with the situation. He was already in the country, and his wife was coming to visit him while he was working on the next installation of the Pirates of the Caribbean movie series. The titles of the articles make it look like Mr. Depp had done something illegal, when in actuality the only mention of him really should have been merely that he was her husband and that she had come to visit him on the movie shoot and brought the dogs with her. Because this is an issue that is not directly related to Mr. Depp, I would advise keeping the focus on the real persons involved in the issue, Mrs. Heard and the assistant that did not complete the paperwork properly. I would also focus on any action that is being planned or done to correct the situation and ensure that it does not happen again. In this case, it would be the removal of the dogs from the country as soon as possible, the removal and replacement of the assistant, dealing with the legal obligations set down by the country, and admitting the misunderstanding and providing a sincere apology. Beyond that, for this particular celebrity, I would probably ignore it as much as possible. Mr. Depp does enough positive in the world that this will be buried in the positive press and forgotten about quickly. From signing items from charity auctions, charity music performances, character appearances at hospitals for kids, and even animal rights charities and causes. Mr. Depp seems to have plenty of positive press that this should really not impact him very much once the focus is redirected.